Perfect. Awesome. So without further ado, let's get started. As I said, my name is Leah Precious Thunder Warrior. Pulling from, multiple traditions. I worked with the Indigenous, American Indigenous, and specifically Mayan community for a really long time. That's sort of how I got my medicine name. And I also am someone who started kind of with Buddhism and Hinduism and spent a long time thinking that I was going to be a Shakti worshiper my whole life until I started to kind of go inwards towards my own ancestry and kind of find what's the medicine, what's the magic of my own ancestry. And something about Leo energy specifically really I feel calls to me in terms of pulling that out, which is that kind of lion worship I think goes deep. A lot of ancient humans, a lot of our ancestors found lions and cats so mystical, and I'm totally a cat person, at heart. So I find that just to be, it's very magical. So I'm very happy to be working with this lunar energy, be working with kind of the divine sort of full manifestation energy of the full moon, as well as with Leo, that ability to be working also with the sun and with the center and kind of that fire and the sort of marriage of what you might say is kind of the water of the moon with the sun. And then with that, doing it through Aquarius season, kind of looking at what it means to be an individual, be self-focused, and all of these things I think can be really magical. But before I let me actually kind of define my terms a little bit so that we know what we're talking about and we know what we're getting into when we actually do the circle. So it is full moon in Leo. For those who are totally new, full moon is an amazing time for manifestation, for working on bringing in things, or for in some way coming to a culmination. This is, the culmination of what we began with our shape-shifting circle in the new moon in Aquarius. And we're kind of going to be doing a little more shifting. It sort of didn't happen intentionally, but then it felt like perfectly aligned that it's not really shifting, but it's going to be kind of continuing to transform today. So we'll be doing kind of a lot of that practical, like shifting ourselves into the new. And I think what is, exciting is that this full moon in Leo specifically is one that intensifies kind of our passion for both ourselves as well as maybe like an understanding of like where we need to be and kind of feeling uncomfortable as we're trying to fully align into that desire and trying to fully align into kind of being the manifested version of our desires in real life. But it is about the full moon coming into Leo and coming into the self, really the self-focus and an appreciation for self-focus, an appreciation for self-expression. And yes, there might be this kind of urgency right now. I think that that's what's, I would maybe put as a term, or I've been feeling very like activated, almost like it's like anxious energy, but it's not really, it both is anxiety, but it's like these constant realizations hitting of like, well, maybe this needs to be adjusted, maybe that needs to be adjusted, maybe some of it needs to be adjusted and some of it doesn't even need to be adjusted. And then you figure out, well, what, you're kind of finding the right balance. It's really about this full moon in Leo specifically, because it's the fire, because it's working with an alignment with the sun, which is the center of our solar system, which is the life giver. It's really about becoming fully aware with a really intense power. And considering especially that we just came from Valentine's Day and we're into 2022, and we're doing a few numerology circles. So if you feel called to, please check out the Facebook or the Eventbrite. And if you want to sign up for the newsletter later, I'm going to be talking more about the last two kind of alignments of 2/22/2022 and 22/20/2022. Hard to say, quite a tongue twister, but working with that numerological energy and making sure that we kind of fully align with what it is that it means to be harmonic in this really abundant time, and it's the season of love. But it doesn't mean that we have to be partnered. What it actually can mean instead is that we are like finding our love within ourselves again. And that can be the love for life. That can be the love for our art, our creation, our magic, our manifestation, our Reiki, our everything. And so it's that powerful awareness that's really coming into, I think, our kind of body mind, and asking to be seen, to be exposed, to be illuminated, so that we can kind of become more in touch with the full self, the creative self, that fiery creation self, where it's like we have a thought and it's created, but also that romance, maybe that passion, if you want to, and kind of a deeply intense appreciation for the heart, for the activation in the heart, and the activation of our power, so that we are walking on the earth with power. Beyond that, I think there's, we're working with Leo, which is all center focus, but it's in Aquarius season, which can be also about the community focus. So I kind of invite us to look both at ourselves and at the bigger picture as well. How can I heal myself and be empowered as myself and be so happy that I deserve to be beloved as myself, and also look at how that can affect positively and the community, and kind of how can I reprogram my beliefs so that I'm aligning with both my purpose and in a way where I am in self-beloved space, but also the purpose and needs of like the destiny of the entire world and kind of, our community and things like this. So it's really, it's, I think, very interesting energy. It's like, how can I be focused in, but in a big picture kind of way? And how can I really welcome in I think the passion, the love, the really extravagant appreciation of the self that we don't always give ourselves the opportunity to feel. Now, I think that's kind of enough of talking about the astrology, but I'm always available if you want to talk more. The last thing that I'll say is I've had this really sort of magical experience of, my pronouns are actually they, them, and I see a few they, thems in the audience. So, always appreciative of respecting everyone's pronouns in the space. But, I have worked very closely with the goddesses since I can remember. I actually have, in my experience, like, well, I feel like I've experienced miracles with Shakti. I've like felt her hand on my shoulder before, and even more that I can tell you at another time. But like, the goddesses have always been with me. And so first there was Durga and Kalima, and I eventually got working with Ishtar, who is the queen of Babylon, the queen of heaven. And she really is also very significantly appearing in my life. And then I also work with other Babylonian deities that are not really to be discussed today, but will be discussed in future circles, including the alchemy circle, which is happening, I believe, next Wednesday. However, so I just want to introduce all the goddesses that we will be dealing with today. We'll be talking to Ishtar, who is the Babylonian goddess of love and war and passion herself, and she's a lioness goddess. She's actually behind, I have two altars and I have to constantly make sure everyone's kind of in a safe space, but Ishtar right now is in the bigger altar. I should have brought her out, I'm sorry, but she's a lioness goddess. She's always heralded by lions as well as owls. And beyond that, we'll be working with Sekhmet, who is the goddess of ancient Egypt, who is lion-headed, kind of mother and love figure associated with the earth, associated with Venus as well. Ishtar also associated with Venus. We will be calling in Shakti Ma, Durga Ma, Kali Ma. We will be using some of the mantras there, working with that energy of the warrior goddess. All of these women are warriors as well as beings of love and faces for like kind of the deep passion that is a battle sometimes to really hold within you, but also with a great empowered self. So we'll be calling in Durga Ma as well. And finally, we're going to be calling in Freya, who is another. Oh, and Durga obviously rides a lion or a tiger, depending on who's talking about it. And then we'll also be calling in Freya, who is the Norse goddess of love and war as well. For me, these connections, I feel like even though they are different women, they're all kind of related in a way. And they are sort of in sisterhood with each other to work with us. So I will also be calling in Freya of the Norse tradition. She's one of the Vanir. She's someone who rides a chariot of cats into battle to support warriors. So she is very much a warrior herself, and she's also a supporter to people who kind of walk the path of the warrior, of the many battles that we face every day, and figuring out how to best, show up to each one, but doing so with that kind of interesting feline energy. So the final thing I'll say about all of this with these goddesses is two of them are very famous. And if you came a whole year ago to my last full moon in Leo circle, you might remember that we talked about many of these lioness goddesses are also from known for kind of being what they're called like furious and sometimes like rampagers, and they go into kind of a frenzied magical dance, and when they do so the whole world bows to them, and something, they have to be stopped, but something kind of miraculous is held within their ability to dance to the point of like, total destruction and rebirth. And I don't mean this to scare anyone. We're not going to be doing anything too frightening. We'll be doing two meditations today. The first will be just kind of our grounding, getting into the space, getting into our bodies. And then the second is when we'll be communing with the ceremony of these goddesses, asking them to be here with us and also dancing with them, basically. Now, I'm not inviting anyone to be destructive, but if you need to release and you're feeling really activated and overwhelmed, take that kind of destructive energy and use that as your tool to really be fully released of all the things that are troubling you, or at least some of them, as much as you're able to get to tonight. And then we'll kind of work into a crowning with fire and sort of a remembering of our royalty. So a lot to do, a lot to unpack. It'll be two meditations with a silent break in between, and then we'll share at the end. I ask if you can stay until the end. It's very useful so that you can get the full impact of both kind of meditations and ceremonies and do the magic yourself. When that should be it. If you have any questions, or if no worries. You can just dance for rebirth. That's okay. I am just seeing a message about that. You don't have to dance for anything you don't want to. I'm not even going to be forcing you. I'm not going to be forcing you, first of all, but it's really more about the ability to kind of invite that dance with nature that is so wild and mystical and can like move mountains. And so we're sort of transforming into the goddess in a way. And then however you would like to be that goddess, you don't even have to be Sekhmet or Kali. You can be Freya, you can be Durga, you can be Ishtar, who never did that either. So just work with where you want to be. This is not me telling you to be anyone you're not. This is just me inviting you to be yourself more than you're allowed to. So, or not more than you might feel in this moment, or that you would like to welcome in. So I just ask that the music gets started now, and everyone, if you have crystals or you have all your tools, set them about you. You can hold on to them. If you have any essential oils, I can't find where I put mine, but you can kind of anoint yourself if you'd like to. And all right, we'll get started. Okay. So wherever you are right now, Go ahead, if you would like to lay down, you can lay down, you can sit down, you can have your eyes closed or open. All of that is up to you. We're going to begin today with kind of a returning and focusing of self so that we can kind of open our mind to the trance of the wisdom of this moment, as our many ancestors have done, as we are able to do to find ourselves. And today is a day of love, of self-love, of passion, of joy, and of being close to love of self. So for now, let us take a moment to notice where our natural breath is, where and how it appears for us, how it sounds, how it feels. Inviting in a little bit of quiet. Not changing your breath, just seeing how you breathe. And now we are going to deepen that breath. When I say 9, we'll breathe in, and when I say 9, we'll breathe out. Tuning into the number 9 as a way to end all thought processes, all patterns in the past, so that we can create a new experience today. When I say 9, we'll breathe in. When I say 9, we'll breathe out. And I will guide you as we go through this practice of coming closer to center. Breathing in 9. And we'll hold for a moment. And breathing out 9. And breathing in 9. And breathing out 9. 9. Holding. And 9. We'll do 2 more here. 9. And 9. Final breath, welcoming in awareness, and taking this opportunity to really breathe into the top and the bottom of the stomach. Really welcome in your life breath into yourself. Breathing in 9. And 9. Everything is activated in this full moon. The energy is powerful and asks us to completely be ourselves, even when we are not. Just as our ancestors found the full moon as a time for wildness and merrymaking and deep renewal and change, we are inviting in the medicine of this full moon. All we need to do is let the time pass, allow for everything to stop, all but the true essence of us within. We are coming into contact with what defines us deeply. All the details, all the truths. And as we are doing so, we are at center. Just as Leo rules the sun, the central point of the universe, the sky, the life giver, we are coming into that which rules us, which is us. Breathing through our strong activation or whatever may have made us nervous or upset. Right now, it is all about returning to center and doing so with the alignment of Leo, of centered sun space, and of the moon. This is about the power of finding the very self that exists and has deep value, and just like every other point, is at the center of an entire universe. And we breathe in to the self that is at the center of the entire universe, allowing everything else to either be integrated or fall away. We will take time now to relax the body. We start outwardly and we'll move in, focusing first on relaxing the feet, the legs, welcoming a clearing of feelings of weakness or vulnerability that lie within us, as that does not exist anymore. We are stable. We are secure. We are our own house and foundation. Breathing and relaxing as well into the hands, the arms, the wrists, the shoulders, whatever we carry with us, whatever burdens that we hold, whatever weight of the day, of the year, of the current cycle, of this moon. We can see it and intentionally let go. We let go. Intentionally, we do all that we can to release. We move past the extremities now, releasing and relaxing at the top, at the crown, allowing for more space above the head, opening our channel to our power, our connection to the stars, and our connection to the greatest star in the sky, that life-giving sun. We open the great eye in our forehead that controls our two human eyes, the spirit's all-seeing receiver in the mind and head and face, opening our vision, opening our ability to see all that is and all that will be. And welcoming a clearing into the throat chakra as well, bringing some clarity to our words, forgiving our presence for not always aligning with intention, and taking time to feel our truth reside and resound through our temple body space. We are breathing into our outer limits, our limbs, our extremities, the places of mind and body, the holders of thought and emotions and expression, and of our ability to be calmed and relaxed. Allowing this all to swirl so that we can begin to tune into our solar center. But before we do, simply pausing and allowing the holographic reality of nature around us to create a trance-like feeling where the body is at rest before we awaken to the divine being within, finding the silence of self that will aid us when we tap into our incredible power. We rest. We are beginning to equalize. Around us is the universe, a harmonization, of the many stars, seen and unseen, the many suns, all at the center of all of those galaxies, just out of reach. And we are like those many centers, coming into a sacred, deeply spiritual, centered awareness, a center of the stomach and of the heart that is made of ecstatic shock and magic and lightning and thunder, with an energy that swirls, an energy that is fire, an energy that is the inspired spark of creation, the primal nature of willpower reflected, passion, energetic enthusiasm, pure creativity being birthed and expanded in the real world, all through our fire at the center. You may want to put your hands on your stomach or your heart or both. As we allow our body's energy to swirl around the awareness of the fire at our center. And as we come into this awareness, we are releasing all that drags on your power, any rejection, any sadness, any discomfort, breathing them out of your body, letting them be burned by the fire at the center of your stomach that sparks, that crackles with rainbows. This is your star, your fire, your power. You are at the center. And there are many great beings, many universes and dimensions that surround you. As a reflection of your spirit, just as you are an iteration of the universe expressing itself. We are a fiery star, each and every one of us, at the center of the great fabric of the multidimensional consciousness of this universe. You are a heart. You are a being of love. You are beyond the arrows of others. You are beyond anger. You are beyond sadness. You are beyond the darts that might lay claim to your life force and your energy. You are beyond all of these things, for you are at your very essence. And as this heart, feel your pulse, feel your heartbeat, feel your pull of gravity and power as you continue to hear the crackling of your fiery heart, feeling the heat, the molten lava of your being, the thunder and the lightning that holds you together. You are a star and you are a heart. You are a being made of magic. And we welcome a reminder that this universe around us that is living and breathing and pulled into this fire of at our center through our gravity is living through us. And so we live through it as well. There is so much that we need, but there is also so much that we have. And the path to freedom, to a greater fire, is always open. We have the ability to be and to find the love that we seek, the love that is within, and to know that we are empowered, that we have the empowerment to create a reality that serves our interests and our needs. For we are always so infinitely, passionately, and absolutely, miraculously perfect. And with that, we will conclude the first meditation. The second will begin shortly, but if you would like to share anything in the chat, you may do so. We stay muted at this time and we'll leave the music on. But you can take a minute or two for yourself if you'd like to journal anything, or if you would just like to have a break. We'll probably begin in 2 minutes. Give it about another minute. Wrap up any notes you're writing. anything else that you want to kind of take stock of. And the music can change now. As we ready ourselves to move into our second meditation. I also like selenite. I actually have selenite logs here. I've been trying to get my Etsy together as I have some available for sale eventually. Selenite is a great tool, yes. Lately, I've been working a lot with fire quartz as well. All right, let's begin. We can all kind of get back into center together. Actually, just gonna clear the space a little bit with a little incense. Sending you any energy that you might need, clearing you, clearing your heart, clearing your center. And we'll begin. And as we begin, we are coming into, again, returning to the power of the center, just so that we can realign with ourselves. We work now with the true power of our inner star, our solar plexus, our sun within, allowing ourselves to be in this room right now, connecting all the power that we've just gathered up, kind of plugging it in to our body, so that as we get ready to take off, we are one unit of this centralized power. The fire in the stomach moving through our nerves now, letting the fire travel through us in a relaxed but now empowered activation. This is the peaceful awareness of the overabundance of fire that resides within every iota and atom of our being. And we are beginning now in ceremony to commune with the great powers and spirits for our activation and opening under this powerful full moon. For us all, I call in the 7 directions: the north, the east, the south, the west, the below, the above, and the heart at the center. With great humble gratitude, I call in the holy lands that we live upon, the lands of our ancestors. I call in your ancestors, your guides, those beings who are in their wellness, who may help you and heal you today and empower you. I call in your animals, all your friendly ally spirits, and I especially call in your deities. With great humble gratitude for their presence here today to support you and to support us all. And now I call in my guides as well, Great Father Ninurta of Babylon, King of Thunder, King of the Earth, Saturn. I call in Hermes, Mercury, Tahot, Thoth. I call in Hathor, Venus, Aphrodite. And I call in Hecate. I call in Osiris and Horus, Sun Father Helios, Moon Mother Selene, Artemis Apollo, Thor Odin, Gilgamesh Enkidu. And finally, I call in the 4 lioness goddesses who have protected and watched over me for many years, and who will protect and watch over us all tonight. We call in the divine Vanir Freya, the great mother cat goddess, queen of sorcery, queen of magic, ruler of the battlefield and of the heart, queen of the Norse peoples. I call in Mother Ishtar with a prayer of ancient Babylon. I recite to you, Mother Ishtar, sing of the goddess, most inspiring of goddesses. Let the mistress of peoples be praised, the greatest of the Igigi. Sing of Ishtar, most inspiring of goddesses. Let the mistress of womenfolk be praised. Who can equal her greatness? Powerful, exalted, and fabulous in her status. Ishtar, who can equal her greatness? Can anyone equal her greatness? Powerful, exalted, and fabulous in her status. Ishtar is the one whose standing is greatest among the gods. Her command is honored and it prevails over them all. Amin, we call you to us, great goddess of war, of love, of passion. We call to us, great mother Sekhmet, the lion-headed goddess, the warrior-ess, goddess of motherhood, goddess of love, goddess of divine power. And we recite a prayer to you, Sekhmet, As if written in your own voice, we recite, I am the hand of the powerful goddess, wearer of the solar disk. I am the twice beautiful one, more splendid than yesterday. I am she who goes forth with Ra. My hair is the hair of Sekhmet, the golden one. My eyes are the eyes of the lioness. My ears are the ears of the goddess. My nose is the nose of she who sniffs out all evil. My teeth are the fangs which can devour the darkness. My hands are the hands with long claws. My backbone is golden and it shines with splendor. My belly and back are the belly and back of Sekhmet. There is no part of me that is not the goddess. I am Sekhmet who cometh forth in the dawn. I mean, we call in great Sekhmet, the great lioness, the great protector of humanity, triumpher of good over evil. And finally, I call in Durga Ma, the great warrior goddess, another triumpher of good over evil goddess, and great mother to Ganesha, wife to Shivaji. I giri nandiri nandita mendini viswavino diri danute girivara vindya siro dinivasini vishnu vilasini jishnu nude Bhagavati he siti kanda kutumbini buri krute Jaya Jaya he mahisha sura mardini ramya kapardini shaila sute. I mean, we invite these goddesses in around us today. We connect to them and concede to them to help us on our mission so that we may find the love of the moment and that we may master the love of their creation. And we are scooped up by these great goddesses now and traveling across the roads of spirit until we are brought to the desert. A place that, though empty, is bright with the light of the moon and the stars, alive through the nighttime. And we are placed at the gateways of a desert temple. You may see it as a pyramid or a ziggurat, a Hindu temple, or a cottage or hut or something that means something to your ancestry instead. This is a place of meaning for you and your goddesses and your magic today. We can ask now to be invited in and be given entrance to this mystical place meant for us, who at the center of these chambers also hold a great fire, a great inferno. And as we gather around this fire, these goddesses, these lion goddesses, will speak to you and give you messages meant only for you to hear, and give you blessings meant just for you. I'll send you Reiki as a channel for them to you. Blessing you with ruby zoisite, deep heart activations. Working through your energy as you continue to receive these first downloads meant only for you. Receiving a full activation as they invite you to become fully in your power. For just as in the new moon we shapeshifted into something new, now we will shift into the very powerful form of these magnificent lioness goddesses. We will be dancers, either with the rampagers or with the great mystery of the graceful goddess of love, welcoming in an uncontrolled strength with no fears, no boundaries, no worries, no perceptions, simply existing, as we ask now for a second chance for our highest good and for a journey to our highest and most accomplished, most excited, pure, and powerful self. If you would like to move your body, you're welcome to. You don't have to. It's however you feel comfortable to move. Through this dance, you experience full power and you are shameless. Hurts you have given, hurts you received, meld with a nostalgia of living a life in which your voice was heard and the voices of others were heard, and all was still in harmony. As these goddesses continue to invite you to be like them, great lion goddesses. Moving through your desert or your temple, the world is full of colors as you dance and flourish, feeling a heavy feeling of love, of extravagance, of excitement. You are welcome to go mad, to be your most illustrious self, to be in touch with your emotions and your shadows. Returning to multidimensional consciousness as we are in the space of dancing, in the space of blind and pure empowerment. The goddesses watching over you, all parts of you, witnessing your removal of all blockages, your pure freedom. You are your own deity. And as you dance, your power becomes more and more alive. The sacred spirit of the lions are with you, and everything is alive in this desert. You connecting deeply at the spirit level as you are removed of all that is not essence, and you are returning to your wildening, dancing with the wilderness as the great spirit of the lion. Around us, the earth also turns to fire. The ground lighting up with a fiery inferno that does not burn us, only grounds us further into our power, reminding us that we are deserving of only the greatest love. We are the fire dancers. We are the fire breathers. We have power. And that power at our feet is the power that is within us every day. You feel around you the many layers of energy, the many stars. And you begin to feel power exuding from every bit of you. As these flames rise and we become fully consumed by the great power of all things. Again, with no pain, we are simply becoming fully powered up, empowered. Everything is beauty. Everything is alive. Everything is creating and being reborn every moment of every second. And these flames release now everything, all the other people, all the things that don't serve us, the recent past, the recent lessons, the memories. They are shifted, they are shredded. All the troubles are removed. We are cleansed through the fire. Always at our truest power, able to access and cut away what we want to cut away, be released of everything that doesn't serve us, be completely free. Around us, the goddesses are dancing and they come closer, placing a pure halo of stars upon our crown. The fire at our feet, the fire around us, the fire that is like static electricity connects now to the stomach, to the top of our head. All history is being blessed. and the unwinding road of the future, filled with opportunity. As in the present, we are enraptured with the flame of power, integrating with the power of time, deep and pure love for the self. And the goddesses are like our mothers, holding us close, caressing, or simply approving from a safe distance of just who we are, seeing us, knowing us, and continuing to add power to this crown that lights our fire, that continues and connects through our center, so that we may feel deeply the true joy and love of this moment. All else releasing so that there are no blockages. Only love of self in all iterations. Through this love, through this madness of our dance, we are madly in love with the parts of ourselves that live within this fire. And as our heart beats, we hear the sounds of thunder reflected from our hearts to the fire in the skies and the stars beyond. As we are in flame with this fully empowered self, feeling the great heat of this moment, we see now that full moon in Leo, the symbol of power through the beloved self. And as your fire grows brighter and brighter, you realize that you are being lifted now to this moon, to this doorway of energy, of remagnetization of yourself, of your ascension, of your ability to grow and grow. Becoming one with all cosmic bodies. You take a moment and see and understand all the potential that is available to you to unlock as you are slowly approaching this moon. We rise and we rise. The goddesses behind us now open that moon, that portal, that doorway. Of lightning. And as we enter, we become rewired, reprogrammed in this lightning chamber under the full moon and within the full moon, burning brightly with our own fire. Magnetizing, manifesting, calling in all the love, the peace, the happiness, the abundance, knowing that it is with us, that it is wiring within us as well. Creating a fiery lightning of love, of passion, of heart and stomach opening and upgrading and harmonizing as our great center of the entire universe. We receive any final visions or messages from this portal now. I offer now my great thanks to the goddesses. You too can say your goodbyes, your gratitude, ask for any final requests. I offer the Durga Gayatri mantra. I apologize for my pronunciation. Durga Gayatri mantra. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvat Sadike Sharanye Triambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvat Sadike Sharanye Triambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvata Sadike Sharanye Triambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvata Sadike Sharanye Triambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvata Sadike Sharanye Triambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvata Sadike Sharanye Triambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Thank you, great goddesses. Thank you, full moon, for this incredibly miraculous experience. I invite you all now to return to your body, to this moment. I'm going to stop the stream here. So good night to anyone watching over on Facebook. And the music can stop as well.